When I first got the email, I was terrified. I was like, wow, this is a long email. This internship is going to be very difficult.
I actually didn't think I was going to get the internship, but I was actually pretty surprised that I did.
Being in a government office, I kind of expected it to be like gloomy, like little cubicles, like not very collaborative. Everyone's just like in their own space.
It's publicly funded by taxes, so I didn't know that it would be like this nice of a building too. I thought it would just be some old brick building.
I thought it would be super stuffy, like just sitting at a desk, just writing code the whole time.
There was a lot of like apprehension and nervousness. I was also excited to get to work in a professional environment.
I thought we were gonna just work only on our projects the whole time, but since I was part of like an external team, I was able to like learn some of the actual projects they were doing, and I was able to contribute to that.
I think this internship defied my expectations because I feel like it's really communicative, collaborative, and I just love like the atmosphere here. I don't feel like stressed at any point.
Like there was a huge focus on helping me learn stuff and getting me used to the program.
You're also going to be able to incorporate the skills that you already have and improving your current skills. It's not just going to be throwing you into something that you've never seen before, but they're going to help you grow.
Like not only how to work with new colleagues, but more about how Alameda County works and all the different departments it has, such as like cybersecurity.
I took away a lot from that. The head of security told us about good security practices, but he also told us about real-world examples, like how phishing might work and steal your information. Normally, if I get a scammer call, I talk back and try to just mess with the scammers, but I didn't realize that doing that actually gives them more information about me, so I've kind of stopped doing that too.
And also, it gave me potentially a career path because cybersecurity, like defense, is also pretty interesting for me.
I've also learned project management. When you're stuck at something, you can always debug it and find out what the issue was. My favorite session was the one with Tim and Sybil. We learned a lot about the county, about IT. Overall, like they had such a funny presentation and the food was great.
And we had a data center tour, and it was really cool. It was like one of my favorite parts because it's like fascinating that like in one small contained area, all the data from major Alameda County areas are stored.
So my project is basically to modernize this old application. It's called District Lookup. So basically the user types in their address and that app returns all of the districts that the address fall into. But then the problem with the old app was that it was really slow. So once you enter an address, it would take 2 to 3 minutes to actually get the results. And second, it didn't comply to the accessibility requirements. So my job was to first make sure everything was modernized so it's easier to use, so less loading time, as well as make the new app compliant with the accessibility requirements. Phase 1 was kind of just learning about GIS. I learned then to use the tool ArcGIS Experience Builder and ArcGIS Web Map Viewer. And now I'm working on making that proof of concept with actual code using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. That's why I'm also working with the digital apps team to work on that aspect of web development.
I'm on the property tax team, and my project is on web accessibility. I have to make 3 websites that is available for the public where everyone can access it, even people who don't have mouses. What they use is something called Focus. You press tab on the keyboard and it moves through and you can type in whatever you want. And I have to edit that and log a bunch of errors on this 30-year website. And some of the roadblocks that I faced is some of the parts are made from C#. That means it's like not usable for web accessibility and directly editable with like HTML and CSS. You have to go and completely edit it again. And I just have to make the website accessible through Telerik Blazor. I have to learn front-end services like HTML, CSS, JS, and this .NET framework called Blazor. The team kind of guided me how to work through it and how to problem solve front-end issues.
So right now I'm doing a website testing because we had a migration from DB2 servers on the old CRIMS website to SQL servers on the new one. Basically what I'm doing is I'm running the DB2 servers and the SQL servers at the same time with automated testing using a tool called UI Vision RPA. Basically robotic process automation, which you can create a robot that tests for you instead of manually testing. This not only will like help optimize the whole like CRIMS team as a whole, it also helps me because manual testing is really tedious, but with this robot I can literally just change one value and that'll save me like 5 to 10 minutes. It took me about a week to learn. Coming into the internship, I didn't really have a background in SQL. With my mentors, I learned about relational databases. In addition to that, I learned like injections, cybersecurity, also like how databases work.
I'm on the SSA team. My mentor is Narayan Black, and we're working on a chatbot project where we're going to be migrating an older version of our chatbot. It used an older technology. It's called Lewis, and we're making it into a CLU. We don't generally have to use code on this, but it's mainly knowledge about Azure, Microsoft, and I had to learn and read myself up on that, especially conversation and language understanding, custom question answering, and all that. And once I understood it, I implemented that into this app called Bot Framework Composer, which is where we actually publish it. It's for people who just want someone to talk to, general questions about SSA. If they say my card is lost, this will come and help them. It's way more easier than search the entire website.
So I'm working with the client services engineering team. I'm currently working on building an app. For example, say you go into the company portal, which is kind of like our app store, and you need, say, Chrome, and you don't see Chrome there. The app I'm designing allows you to put in Chrome into a pop-up, and once you do that, then it automatically sends an email to support, and they'll have your Chrome installed on your device in a few days. I'm also learning about how to manage endpoints or user devices throughout the county. So some of the stuff that I've been working with is Intune app deployment for people's devices.
I work on the digital apps team. Right now, our main project is creating a web-based tracking system for the Register of Voters team. And so what that's going to do is it's going to create a very easy access web-based program for our Alameda County citizens to register to vote. And we're building it inside the Salesforce framework because it just gives us so much more security of data that is very important in this day and age and when so much new technology is coming out.
I'm part of the server services team, so currently my project is updating the ISG server database into a newer database called Avanti. On the side, I'm also creating my own servers, which are being used in actual production right now. In addition, the server services team goes to the data center often, and I go with them, and there they point out different hardware and say, oh, this is what you saw on the computer on the server. Currently, we're also reducing the amount of servers and shortening up the space they take up. My biggest takeaway from this experience is working with new people and applying my skills in a real life situation. I'm able to see how my work impacts my community.
My biggest takeaway, I realized my interest is also in web accessibility. I want to create projects building on accessibility and artificial intelligence.
Learning about the different fields within technology and the potential, it got me very excited for entering the field of technology.
One of the biggest takeaways for me has actually been the learning sessions. Cybersecurity was never a career I actually considered, and there's a lot more departments besides coding and CS that you can get into if you want to.
More than the professional experience, I liked how people work together here, from different teams, and it's just such a friendly environment. I really hope I take this away and I become more of a friendly person in future jobs that I work in.
I think my favorite part was meeting all the interns and working with them as a group. And although we work on different projects, whenever something overlaps, we tend to discuss it or help each other out. And during lunches, we always go out and spend time together. I believe that these interns are friends I've made for a long time, and I'll definitely keep in touch with them.
I play ping pong with the other interns, and this kind of takes our relationship to a more competitive level. And another part is we like to explore Oakland. We walk to the lake. I guess Oakland gets a bad rep. It's not really that bad.
We do a lot of urban exploration, visiting all the buildings around us. I think it's one of the highlights of my summer.
So there's a big thing where you have to keep your computers locked. We got that kind of pounded into our heads. We have to keep our computers locked whenever we step away. We've kind of become conditioned to lock the computer compulsively when we get up. So then this one time, me and the other girls were going to lunch, and one of the interns, Pavia, she forgot to lock her computer. So then we get to the door and she freaks out, and I'm like, oh my god, what happened? And she's like, I forgot to lock my computer. And she books it all the way back to her computer and slams on the keyboard, locks it. So I thought that was pretty funny because, yeah, we got kind of traumatized by Keith.